the neighbors would let you borrow their water for your
Their
cattle?
water was, their ponds were bigger.
Ah.
And so we used to round up our cattle and horses and drive them to the neighbors. And then Dad got 2 big dams, and we didn't have to do that anymore.
So did he have to carve out like a reservoir for the
No,
dam?
we had big coolies,
Okay.
and they just built dams across the coolies.
All right.
And then we didn't have to drive the cattle.
How old were you when you were driving cattle?
Oh, I started driving cattle when I was 11.
11? On a horse? Were you horseback? On horseback?
Bet I was on horseback.
And so would you just run the horse? You run the horse behind the cattle, or would you have to poke the cattle or whip them or anything?
No, we just rode the horses and drove the cattle, drove the horses that were in the field.
Yeah, my grandpa, I don't know, he was 8 or 9 years old when he had a horse, a gun, and a dog, and that was it.
We had a dog, we didn't have a gun.
So, when did you start learning to ride a horse?
Well, I guess I was about,
That tall?
oh, I doubt if I was,
tall, huh?
I rode my one grandfather had race horses.
Oh, he had race horses?
You bet.
Which grandpa?
Grandpa Bingham.
Bingham? Would he race them in Lethbridge, or did you have a track
Right here in McGrath.
In McGrath, in Raymond, Lethbridge, Great Falls, Spokane.
So, Bill, did you ever ride horses when you were a kid? Yeah.
For my 12th birthday, I got a Shetland pony that big. And I've been riding horses, big horses, all my life.
When we were little, we were never allowed to have a saddle. For fear we'd get. My dad said if we were gonna fall off or get bucked off, we was gonna be off.
Yeah.
We weren't gonna get dragged.
Yeah, get your foot caught in the stirrup and then get drug around it. Yeah.
So we rode bareback till we was, oh, how old were we, Bill? I don't know,
10?
15?
Oh,
10?
so were you herding cattle without a saddle on?
You bet I
You
was.
just grab a hunk of mane in one hand or both hands.
No,
Did
you had reins.
Yeah, you had your reins, but would you ever?
And your
knees.
legs against the horse to stay off.
Your knees, you held on with your knees.
Right. And that you used your knees to just keep
You
yourself
bet.
upright, and your 2 hands were on the reins.
Yeah,
And you just guide that horse around.
yeah.
One hand on the reins and another on the whip.
Most of the horses we had, we didn't need no whip.
They were pretty responsive.
But you needed it to chase the cattle.
Yeah,
Did you have a favorite horse?
lots.
Did you name your horses?
All of them had names.
What was your favorite horse you'd like to ride? What was his name, or a mare? Would you ride mares?
Both.
Both.
Okay.
We had.
Bill, did you have a favorite horse?
The only one I could ride because what was in the barn was a horse named Strawberry.
Strawberry.
And she got that name because she was kind of that color.
Yeah, that kind of reddish brown.
Reddish white.
Yeah.
Oh.
She looked like a strawberry. She was modeled.
Huh.
My uncle had a horse here in town.
What was your uncle's name?
I mean my uncle. My Uncle Orson had a
Uncle Orson?
horse. Orson
Uh-huh.
Ridge. He was married to my dad's twin sister. And he went to my dad and he said, I've got this horse. And the kids in town was always borrowing it, and they were just ruining it.
Running the horse?
Running the horse, and they were just, and it got so, I don't know what they were doing, but it got so it was throwing itself over backwards.
The horse was?
Yeah, to get rid of the kids.
Oh.
Because they, I don't know if they were using spurs on it or just using a stick or what. But he said, Lawrence, will you take it out to the farm for me? He said, I really don't want to sell it, but I wish you'd take it out to the farm, you know. So Dad took it out to the farm, and it had run away on the kids, you know, and he said, somebody's going to get hurt. So take it out to the farm and see if you can straighten it out. So Dad took it out to the farm, and we used it all, you know. Oh, I loved that horse. But one time, we was going from our place over to Meeks's, which would be about 4 miles, and I was going to town with Meeks's into Raymond to the show. And I got that horse first. It was a fast one.
What was the name of the horse? Do you remember?
We called it Orson
Orson?
because it was Uncle Orson's horse.
So Orson was a fast horse.
Yeah. And I was ready to go to town, and my brother, who was older, I didn't know he wanted to ride it.
Stop.
So I went out and got him saddled, and came out around the barn, you know, around the corrals. And as I came past the house, Barney came out and he said, I'm taking Orson. And I said, no, you're not. And he ran out and tried to grab Orson's bridle. And I gouged him with my shoes, you know, and headed him towards the granary and the fence, and I forgot that Dad's what were they, Bill?
I wasn't listening. The sleigh.
Uh-huh.
The sleigh for the wagon, that Dad used.
Bobsleigh,
Huh?
a bobsleigh, sled.
The sleigh things for the wagon, you know. They were between the fence and the granary. And I put that horse between the fence and the granary. And there was those sleigh runners. And that horse jumped him. And we just sailed, and he ran away with me. And we went just as hard as he could run to the west fence. I could not stop him. And I had my dress in my hand that I was going to wear to the show, you know, and the dance. I hung on to that dress and those reins, and we went just as hard as we could go.
Did the horse stop at the west fence?
I got him turned and headed him north, and we went just as hard as he could go.
Why do you think he just was
He was
galloping
scared.
away? Scared?
He was running. And we got to the north fence, and I could not stop him for anything. Pull as hard as I couldn't stop him.
Huh.
We got to the north fence, and I got him turned, and we headed east. And we went just as hard as we could go east. And by the time we got to the gate east, I'd finally got him pulled up and stopped. And by that time, I was so mad I was ready to kill him. And I got him stopped and got him through the gate. And I thought, you devil, you think you're gonna run. You're gonna run. And I got him through the gate and into my uncle's field. And it was stooped. And the Indians had stooped it, so they would put a lot of stooks together to eat their lunch, you know, in the shade.
What's a stook?
Well, it's when you're harvesting, you bundles. You cut the grain in bundles.
Yeah, I see.
Up there. That middle picture.
All right.
That's
so they would put them together to make some
and they
shade.
would put a bunch of those stooks together for shade while they ate their lunch. And so I headed that horse for one of those big bundles. And he headed him right for it, and he went into it, and we rolled, I'll tell you, but I hung on to the reins, and we rolled. And when he got his breath, I kicked my foot out of the stirrup, you know, and we got up, and I hung on to the reins, and we got up and shook ourselves. And I got back onto him, and we walked away, just kind of walked, and then we got down to the Hutterites, and then we went through a summer follow field, and I thought, you want to run, you're gonna run. And I run him another 1.5 miles down to Meeks's, and boy, he was lathered up. And Meeks's were waiting for me.
Was that the last name?
Meeks's, where's
Meeks.
the ranches, where I was going. And Teddy Meeks got up on the barn, and he said, oh, here she comes. No, he said, that's not her. That's a guy coming. Must be all right.
Because you were riding so well?
Yeah. Well, I was just laying down over his neck, you know, just. I was mad. Oh, man, I was mad.
Did you ever have to punch the horse?
No
Punch the
way.
horse or anything?
No. I was just kicking him with my heels. And he was going. And I swung down and came down the lane and pulled up. Everybody was out in front of the house. And one of the guys said, oh my hell, it's Harriet. And I pulled up, and one of the men took the horse, you know, and I said, "You've got to walk him. He's really lathered up." You know, he was just dripping wet because I'd run him so far. And so they took him out and walked him around and cooled him off so he wouldn't stove up. And they walked him around. And I ran in the house and
Was your dress all right?
oh, it was squashed up. It was. And I quickly washed and changed and everything. And
How old were you, Grandma?
oh, it was before I went to college, so I was about 16, 17. And we went to the show and then went to the dance. But Barney didn't get the horse, I did.
So there was you and Bill. Any other siblings? How many brothers and sisters were there total? 8?
9.
9.
Yeah.
9. So were you two some of the youngest, or what?
I was the middle.
She's older than me.
Okay.
I had 4. I had 2 sisters older and 2 sisters younger and 2 brothers older and 2 brothers younger.
Oh, you're number 5.
I'm right in the middle. I was.
Bill, are you number 6?
Nope.
7?
No.
I'm next to the youngest.
Okay, number 8. Alright.
Yeah, there's 2 brothers and 1 sister still alive. 2 brothers, Bill and my youngest brother and my youngest sister still alive.
So for fun, what would you do? It sounded like you were doing a lot of work on the ranch.
We did all summer.
Yeah. At the Strate's house? Are you eating at the house where they have a trampoline?